giving you guys an update on my rubber plant. Majority of the leaves have fallen off now except for these two. There was another leaf that was on here, but it drooped and fell off. And there were leaves here, here. This is because the area of my apartment is very close to this heater. It's right beside the window, so there's not much that I can do now except for make sure that I keep the soil wet, which is what I did yesterday. I gave this plant and both of my snake plants a deep watering. I took both of them, well, I guess all three of them, out of the pot and made sure I watered the roots down to the bottom, and then I added some cinnamon in the pot as well because I think it was this plant. I saw like a tiny spider in there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on my update. The snake plants did have a few shriveled up leaves that were like very smelly too. Yeah, so those were shriveled up and they were dying, so I plucked those from off of the bottom parts. This one as well, but it didn't have as many as the other one. And then I also added cinnamon to these. The cacti, I water these pretty often, but not as often as I water the snake plants and the rubber plant. And then this big plant is thriving pretty well as the devil's ivy. I'm sorry, yeah, the English ivy is thriving pretty well. I don't water these two as often as I water the rubber plant or the snake plant just because they're a little bit bigger. And then because the English ivy is not as easy to kill. So this is my update. I guess the two plants at the top are doing the best. My other ones, not so much. I did make a concoction, not a concoction, but there's a guy on Instagram that I watch a lot, and he cleans his house or anything with like baking soda and vinegar. He said he learned it from his mom. I forgot what his name is, but I watch him all the time. He also makes videos about growing plants from different fruits, also using different foods for plant fertilizer. I didn't want to use eggs because I don't use eggs at all. Like, I don't eat eggs. So I definitely used the cinnamon method. And then I also used a method where he said to soak banana peels in water and use that to fertilize the plants. So I haven't done that yet, but when I do, I will let you guys know what happened, or I'll just come back and make another video. So I know for sure now I will have to water my smaller plants from the bottom up and just soak them in a big container of water. And I'll probably do that pretty soon. I'll check the soil first to make sure it's dry and not still moist. So if you didn't catch the guy's name, I inserted it a little bit before this section right here. His name is creative_explained. And that's his name on Instagram. For his recipe, I just took an old banana peel of a banana that I ate or used, and I soaked it in about 1.5 cups of water and let it sit for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then I just poured it in here. So it's about 2 days later, you guys, and I am watering my plants again, this time again like I did with the banana water from the bottom up. And I just decided to get rid of my other snake plant because I found out that the roots were rotted, which is why the leaves looked as soggy as they did and limp, and why it had the smell it had. So I just decided to throw the whole snake plant away, I guess because I overwatered it. Yeah, so now I just have this snake plant left, and I have my rubber plant still. and I still did not decide to let go of this leaf. It's still holding on. I just want to see if it falls off or not. I don't want to pick at it, but as you can see, I do have a new bud. I have decided, since these plants are so small, that I will for now on just water them from the bottom up instead of pouring the water through the top, because that way I know for sure that the roots and all of the dirt itself will get as much water as it needs. And I'll just let the plants sit in this very, very thin watering container for maybe a couple of hours and come back and see if the top of the soil gets a little moist or not. That's all.